Hi, I'm Warren Sprouse, host of the Bible Forum. We meet here every Sunday night from 8 until 10 p.m. We talk about life. We talk about you. We talk about the things that are going on in the world, and we do it all from a biblical perspective. I want to talk to you this evening about the war, not World War One or World War Two or Vietnam or Korea or ISIS, or any of those kinds of the war that has been waged and being waged in this world since the world began. It's not an army that's coming at us as a nation or as a people. It's the enemy of our soul who is doing battle with us individually and corporately. You need to understand that, or the political scene makes no sense. The economic scene makes no sense. The social scene makes no sense. The things that you see in the world today that maybe you look at and say, that's crazy. You're right. But these are intelligent people. These are people that have been around. They know stuff. They're smart. They're not stupid people. How can they be doing this? How can they be believing some of the things they believe? Because there is an enemy that is at work on a spiritual level. The Bible talks about the devil, about Satan, about Lucifer, about Beelzebub, and tells you what his purpose really is. His plan is to dominate this world philosophically, spiritually, to be in charge over all of its inhabitants as the king of the earth. How does he plan to do this? Well, the Bible says by his influence he plans to do this, by spiritual possession in some cases, by corrupting the systems, the political systems, the economic systems, the social systems, the religious systems. Ask yourself the question, who benefits from a currency that is worthless? How does that make us stronger? And where does it take us? They're telling us the dollar in your hand today is worth less than 8 cents in 1960 dollars. We got an $18 trillion deficit. That's what we owe. That's our debt. I'm being told that the debt clock hasn't run in 150 days. Does that mean we've plateaued? I don't think so. I think they've stopped telling people what's going on. Who benefits from political chaos, from global anarchy? Who benefits from the breakdown of our social systems, like the family, the community at large? And the answer is no one. No human being benefits from any of that. The conqueror, the one who actually wins these little skirmishes and battles, they don't win either. In the midst of the decline of whatever system it may be, generally speaking, the leadership, if not the foot soldier himself, believe in what they're doing. The generals know that victory will bring them more power. But the enemy of your soul doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about anybody. He will very quickly sacrifice everybody if that's what it takes. And so we're watching this huge decline, this quickly, rapidly growing decline on all fronts. A decline such as we've never seen in our entire life. Probably the world has never seen it. Every area of our society is collapsing. The family is being discredited. Who benefits from that? The church is being marginalized. Who benefits from that? Governments are proving themselves to be ever more corrupt, and they are now openly, purposefully moving in that direction. Who benefits from that? We have judges making laws in small courts, in larger court, in the United States Supreme Court. They're creating law. How does that help us? Our economic situation is in free fall. Our morality is under attack on all fronts. Our genders are flexible. You can be whatever you want. And we have to call you Mary, or we have to call you Bob. And it doesn't matter what you are. You can use any toilet you want. You can go in any dorm you want. By law, you have to be allowed to do that. Who says that makes sense? And sex, we've always seen that as entertainment, in the last 50 years anyway, or in some cases power. We have a sitting president that's pushing us to sign a treaty that nobody wants. Nobody in this country really wants it. And I read this week a close associate of the ruler in Iran says that they don't want it. But we have a president that says, oh, it's the best thing in the world. We have a Secretary of State says if we don't pass this, then the world is over as we know it. We learned this week that Russia is involved now with Iran, pumping money into Iran. The embargo has been lifted, and now they're at work in that nation. They're having naval exercises in the Caspian Sea, Russia and Iran, and they're planning to sell Iran a whole bunch of military hardware. Israel's trying to decide the best way to hinder Iran's nuclear ambition. Iran is steadily financing Hezbollah, the Syrian so-called freedom fighters, the Palestinian terrorists. ISIS is running around relatively free. Jordan and Syria have cozied up to the U.S., which is very odd, and Egypt just seems to be staying out of it, trying to keep the terrorists out of their own country. Does any of this look hopeful? Would the election of another progressive or a socialist, Bernie Sanders, would any of that fix what we see? Can anyone in this country get elected being a conservative? I think the answers to all of those questions are the same. No. None of this makes any sense. So what does make sense? What makes sense is that there is an entity outside the system who has been at work for over 6,000 years to mitigate all that God stands for and to undo everything that's good, right, and holy. And in the last 20 years, all his efforts are starting to coalesce and come together. You going to be part of that? Or are you going to stand up against it?